Hey, Kate.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. So, today we want to round out a little bit more our Time to Think video series and actually do a demonstration of what a thinking pair can look like. And there are all sorts of ways to do it, but in the interest of time, but also value to see how it can go from both perspectives, whether you're facilitating that thinking environment or are the thinker. Let's do 5 minutes each and then we'll conclude and just talk about how it was for each of us. So, would you like to think first, or would you like me to?
I would like to think first. Thank you very much.
Okay. So, Kate, what would you like to think about today, and what are your thoughts?
So, I have been doing a ton of stuff since I retired from my tech job. And I guess it's March 17th. So, approximately, you know, almost a quarter of stuff. And I've just found myself really, really busy. And I talked to a friend of mine last week who also retired from tech at the exact same time as I did. And he has approached it the exact opposite way. So for January, he slept. And then for February, he started thinking about things. And then this month, he's started to kind of like maybe write some things down and start some planning. Um, and it was interesting just to see the contrast between, my December self looked at my January self and said, oh, you're going to need some stuff to do, so let's schedule 2 certifications, and let's get not really anticipating that each certification takes not only the about 40 hours of classroom time, but also the you know 20 to 40 hours of work afterwards. And I've just felt myself really, really busy. And I think what I'm in the process of trying to figure out is there something that I'm afraid of in in the ability to slow down? Or is it, super healthy, and I'm the type of person who likes to be busy and likes to do things, and I've got all this energy, and that's the healthy way of looking at it? Or am I avoiding something? Can you give me a prompt?
I can. So, Kate, is there any more you would like to think, feel, or say?
Well, I don't want to say it because I think that it might be hard to say, but there's a little bit of me that, as he was describing his January and how he slept, like the idea of deserving that break, deserving to slow down, came to me. Like, do I deserve to slow down, or do I still need to make myself valuable, make myself productive? um and then there's also this inkling in the back of my head that my mother passed away in 2017 of lung cancer, and I took care of her as she was passing. She was in my home, and stage 4 lung cancer doesn't take that long, so it was only about 6 months. And I went to work 3 days after, and there's a part of me that's like, if I slow down, will that grief come bubbling up? And so there's a little bit of that as well, that I'm afraid of. And it could be in both. but it feels like it's maybe one or the other. Could you give me a prompt?
And what more, if anything, would you like to think, feel, or say?
I think the idea of deserving to slow down is an interesting one. Because it feels like there's a lot there. And I wonder if that's my time, but I wonder if there's a perception of what it means for a person to be slower, to not do as much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And just take a moment to write some things down.
Sure.
Are you ready?
I am, I think.
Never know until we're there. All right, Gwen. What would you like to think about, and what are your thoughts?
I would like to think about women. It is Women's History Month, and here we are mid-month. And I made a statement a couple of weeks ago that I like to look forward and create our own history regarding and respecting the women that have come before, and yet not get too stuck in that stuff. Lean forward. And then last night I heard a tidbit, which I knew I had heard before, but it just struck me that in the US, women did not have the right to have their own credit card or to take out their own bank loans until 1974. Yesterday was my brother's birthday, and he was born in 1974. And I remember my mom, right after he was born, starting to talk to my dad about going back to school, going to work. And that conversation didn't go very well for many months. And I could feel the stress in the family. And there was a lot of, why would you, as a woman of the home with two children, go into the workforce? And I thought it was really strange at the time. But last night I was like, holy crap. I fully recognize my brother turned 49 yesterday. I fully recognize I'm 53. I've kind of grown up in America just thinking, of course, women have right to be equal and have right to have a credit card and have a right to have a loan but that was not that long ago that women did not have that basic fundamental right in the US. And so I feel a little guilty. I feel a little sad. I'm not sure what I feel, honestly. That I haven't been fully appreciating that history, all the work that so many have done to get women into a position of equity, equality, up to this point. And so I'm just kind of sitting with that a little bit. I've got a pit in my stomach. I don't know why. So this is something hard, strong. I don't know. And then I guess I'll say this feeling contrasts with when we all talk about diversity, equity, inclusion, belonging. I've somewhat shied away from those things because I feel like some people would look at us and be like, "What are you talking about? You're privileged." So what story could you contribute, or what perspective could you possibly contribute? And so I guess I'm wrestling with, how do I honor women's history, equity for women, knowing that everything works better when we're all partnering, and not have it in any way usurp Black, brown, others that also haven't had equal voice in the past and didn't have equal opportunity in the history books. People that wrote history that never were recorded just because they didn't happen to be a white European male. Um, just just a lot of stuff. Just I don't know where I'm going with it. No idea, but that's what I'm thinking about.
What more would you like to think, say, or feel?
I think it just feels like me and lots of other people just need to hit the pause button every now and then and recognize that there's so much that came before us, thousands and thousands of years and millions of people to get all of us to this point. And so, yes, I always want to look forward and be optimistic and positive and plow new ground. Um, but recognize that I'm standing on a lot of foundation that has been so important. Be quiet and recognize that. Be quiet, respect that. And just try to be a good role model by influencing others. And then finally recognizing all this stuff takes time. Takes a ton of time and energy, passion, and it's not a straight line. Um, so just like a mountain climber has to weave and bob and go in and out and up and down and around and finally ascend to the top. Um, I need to recognize that, equity for women and voice and using our voice to empower and inspire is also going to be a crooked path. And it may take us around the trail and around the mountaintop a few times, but the whole point is to move up, but also bring others up with us. And I think that's it for today.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I think I will write down just the keyword of build upon. Okay.
That was
And for those that are watching this demonstration, please know the 10 components of the thinking environment were embedded into this thinking pair. And if you ever think you don't have time to think because you're so busy and you're so distracted and you have so much to do, all this was honoring Kate by giving her about 5 minutes to think, feel, or say whatever came to mind. And then Kate offered that thinking environment to me as well. And I can just say, I'm walking away with the pit in my stomach dissipated quite a bit, but enough left for me to know I need to continue to think about this and journal about this and help me understand what the next best thing for me to do will be to create my own history with others. Kate, anything you would like to add or summarize for us?
Yeah, just with a thinking environment, what I hear continuously and what I experience continuously is we don't know what we think until it's said out loud. We might know the thoughts that are going in our head, and we're like, oh yeah, I thought about that. But if it was in your head and silent and there wasn't a witness to it, there's that power in the witness. There's the power in the truth. There's the power in the, so you and I haven't talked about me slowing down in the past. And I honestly thought it was the grief of my mom, that's what I was afraid of. But I think it has more fundamentally to do with that deserving of taking a break, and seeing someone else not only feel like he deserved it, but actually take it, kind of jarred me in that space last week. So just that people who think that they think all the time, but they're doing it inside, that container that you create for me to have a witness to my thoughts as I'm saying them allows me to also witness them. And I think that's the most powerful piece of it, is I know what's going on with me, you know what's going on with you, but it takes facilitation to kind of get it out.
Absolutely. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you. Bye now.